Yamaha R1, a motorcycle that makes music.
You see somebody in motion, maybe slowed down, really is like music, which kind of makes sense given Yamaha's history with musical instruments.
From music to motorcycles, Yamaha has always focused on beauty and design.
We were the last Japanese company to begin making motorcycles, but the first to emphasize what a motorcycle looked like.
One of the things you'll hear from Yamaha a lot is the phrase kondo.
Kondo is an old Japanese philosophy, describing how music and beauty impact the human spirit.
We didn't just sell pianos, we sold the enjoyment of music.
But could Kondo sell motorcycles?
Simple, compact, powerful. That has been our design concept from the very first motorcycle.
Two very different kinds of music, both influenced by the impact of beauty on human emotions.
Exciting, beauty, performance.
How did Yamaha connect the ancient Japanese philosophy of kondo to bikes? And why did the largest piano company in the world decide to make music with a motorcycle? Every year from late March to early May, it's cherry blossom season in Japan. In a tradition dating back to the 8th century, the Japanese take a break from school or work to stroll among the blossoms. The tradition is called haname, the Japanese version of literally taking time to stop and smell the roses. Haname is just one expression of kondo, the Japanese philosophy describing how beauty impacts the human senses. Kondo can describe the sound of a Yamaha piano that represents more than a century of unmatched musical craftsmanship. Hamamatsu, Japan. It was here in the year 1900 that Torakusu Yamaha crafted the first piano ever made in his country.
Mr. Torakusu Yamaha originally only repaired pianos, which in the late 1800s were only imported from Europe. Then he learned how to build his own piano and started his own music business.
Soon, Japan was no longer importing pianos. Instead, the new Yamaha Music Company began exporting pianos all over the world.
One of the key things that helped create Yamaha pianos was that in this region of Japan, there was a lot of lumber that was especially good for producing great pianos.
By 1904, a Yamaha piano was on display at the World's Fair in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, at the Yamaha Motor Company Museum in suburban Hamamatsu, the company still honors its history as the world's largest piano manufacturer, with a baby grand sitting center stage. three-pointed tuning fork is Yamaha's logo. It is more than just a simple connection between music and machines. It's a constant reminder that Kondo, the impact of beauty on the senses, is at the very core of the company.
A lot of people are surprised to find out that those are tuning forks, even though they look like it, but people don't make the connection right away until they kind of get involved with motorcycling to find out that the tuning forks are Yamaha, even on a motorcycle. So the connection is there from the musical instrument thing right down to the two-wheelers.
But coming out of World War II, no one in Japan needed a piano. Daily living was focused on survival, shelter, food, and inexpensive transportation. So Yamaha asked itself what it could do to stay in business. The answer was to build motorcycles.
Yamaha developed special metal technologies that were used in the design and manufacturing of pianos. After World War II, the company realized it could use these special metal technologies to make motorcycles.
In August 1954, Yamaha introduced its first motorcycle, the YA1. It was a 125cc single-cylinder bike with an engine design copied from a German company. But its shape and colors were unique. It was immediately nicknamed the Akatumbo. In English, Akatumbo means the red dragonfly.
This is the very first Yamaha. At that time, motorcycles in Japan were painted black, and there was little attention being paid to the language of sculpture and design. But Yamaha put an emphasis on design, and so we created an aerodynamic shape for the fuel tank, and the overall shape was simple and compact.
It makes sense that Yamaha has always put a lot of emphasis on styling. I mean, a piano is a beautiful instrument in a lot of ways, and it has to be designed and styled. It's an aesthetic, almost a piece of working furniture, as it were. So it makes sense that Yamaha put a lot of emphasis on the look and styling of their bikes, even from day one.
Rushing to catch up with other motorcycle companies, Yamaha wasted little time taking the YA1 racing. In 1955, just weeks after the first YA1 had rolled off the production line, Yamaha entered the Red Dragonfly in the two most important races in Japan, the Mount Fuji hill climb and the Osama volcano race.
Back in the day, the first motorcycles were functional bikes to get around on. They were transportation. Yamaha got into the racing thing pretty early with their win at the Mount Fuji hill climb. That was a big deal. The Red Dragonfly carried a powerful sting. After winning the Mount Fuji hill climb, the bike won the very first running of the Osama volcano races.
We had to focus on quality and performance, and racing was a good way to demonstrate those qualities. So we started racing in 1955.
Excited by its racing success, people wanted to buy the bike. By the end of 1955, Yamaha had 274 employees building 200 motorcycles a month. Just 1 year after entering the motorcycle business, Yamaha introduced the YD1. A completely new motorcycle with an engine twice as big as the Red Dragonfly. The YD1 had a two-cylinder, 250cc engine designed by Yamaha engineers.